All right, so let's print us a piece of dragon shard from the Game of Thrones. Let's do it. So I got this print off of Thingiverse. A lot of thank you to the artist for this one who rendered this. It was a very interesting print. Now you can see here, I decided to print it this way on the build surface. I did tried once, and I probably could have messed around with the settings, but I didn't. So you can see here, it's pretty big. Okay, this is a 1 foot by 1 foot printing bed here for my longer. And when I tried, it didn't stick. I think it's because I probably should have used a brim or a raft, but I was just afraid it was going to mess up the tip over here. Okay? And I tell you, this print has some of the most interesting textures on it I've ever seen in a print. And you can see it just feels rough. Amazing. I don't know if that was just a function of my printer or if the artist put something in the file to do that, but I can't wait to remove it and see what's going on in there. So you can see I just had against my better judgment, I have the supports running all the way across. So you can see it's having some issues right here. There's some stringing, but it's the way it goes. And if you're not, a total Game of Thrones nerd like me, this dragon shard is actually a piece of obsidian, right? So you can Google that. It's a very, very blackish mineral or rock or whatever you want to call it, but it's very shiny. And so that's the kind of effect I'm going to try to recreate with this. So let's try to get it off the build plate. And for me, this is probably the most, I don't know, it's the most anxious time for me for any print that I do is removing it from the plate. It just sometimes, we're doing intricate pieces. It doesn't always work out right. There's a little bit of sanding, sometimes a lot of sanding involved. Well, let's see what happens here. I'm just going to try at first to just pull this off. Oh, look at that. Okay. Oh, look at that. Wow. Okay, so that was actually easier than I thought. Now, this has been on my print bed for about a week. I printed it, and then I had to go on a business trip. Okay, so normally I try to take it off while the bed is still kind of warm. But wow, that just came right off, right? And so here, we'll get this out of the way for some contrast. But look at that. Like, it didn't really chew up the edge. Now, I don't know if this is just from the printer or whatever. You see kind of those wavy lines right there. So it's not as smooth looking as it is up here. Okay, so that was, that's probably a function of my printer. But I don't know. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I'm going to sand it a little bit, but I don't want to kind of destroy the look of it from here. So I don't know, man. I may just look at some pictures. Like, see, that side is just awesome. Look at that. Very cool. Like, we'll put some filler sander on that, sand it down, put some really glossy black paint on it. I think that's going to look really nice. But I need to figure out what I'm going to do about this stuff right here. I don't know, man. I wonder if I'm just can like make it look like it's part of the rock. I don't know. That's really interesting. But we'll need to do a little bit of sanding, of course, just like everything. But all right, let's see how it goes. Okay, man, I roughed it up. And boy, those patterns, I think it was probably an extruder issue. I'm not sure. Still researching that one. But that's definitely not part of the print. That's something to do with my printer. And so I used some 200 grit and ran over it. And I mean, you can still see it. I mean, if I put any paint on that at all, it's going to show up. So let's try the sander filler first. I don't think it's going to work because those look pretty deep to me. But we'll see. We'll start with sander filler. And then we'll give it another rub down. And if that doesn't work, we're gonna have to go to the good old Bondo. Okay, so here we are with 4 coats of that primer filler. And it's not gonna get rid of those ridges. But you know what, with that on there, I kind of see how the paint is gonna sit on that. And I think I like that. I like that little effect right there. It kind of breaks up, you know, makes it look not so polished and perfect, you know, like rocks and things like that are not always like that. I don't know. I mean, I really, the more I look at that, the more I like it. So I think I'm going to throw some paint on that and see what happens. All right, so wow, this turned out so good. So here it is. I did 2 coats of this filler sander, 2 coats of satin black, Krylon, 2 coats of this Aleene's gloss finish. I use this a lot, particularly on my Mando outfit. I use that. Really good stuff, fast drying. It doesn't get yellow or nasty or sticky. And look at that. That looks really good. Right out of that movie. I mean, even with this kind of weird stuff going on right here, I think that looks authentic. So now the only thing I have left is I'm just going to loop. I did drill a hole here through the print because I'm going to stick this on there. And then you can use it as a necklace or whatever. But I just think, I don't know, that wouldn't be a neat effect. So let's put that in. There you go. Just one nice little knot. I'm sure there's a different kind of knot you can do for that, but that'll work for now. So all in all, I really like that print. Thanks for watching. Easy, super easy to do. If you got any Game of Thrones fans, friends or family, they will love that. Thanks for watching.